When somebody is woefully insecure, you may notice they're far more likely to melt down even over mild criticism. It's one of the biggest signs of narcissism and insecurity, and this is Donald Trump to a T. Trump is so insecure that if you so much as said you didn't like his haircut, he would probably send you to the gulag if he could. But now Donald Trump's insecurity is absolutely bubbling over, because he's taking emergency action as Germany just dropped a scathing bombshell on Trump's own son. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avallone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now we're gonna get to how exactly Trump is taking this emergency action and how Germany dropped this bombshell. But first, I have something that I have to tell you guys about, and it's really concerning and highly suspect.
A perfectly timed stock sale by Pam Bondi is raising serious red flags. On April 2nd, just hours before Donald Trump announced sweeping global tariffs that caused the markets to plummet, Bondi sold up to $5 million worth of shares in Trump's own media company. The news, first reported by ProPublica, shows Bondi cashed out right before the chaos. That same evening, Trump dubbed it Liberation Day as he slapped tariffs on countries around the world. 1 week later, he reversed course and told his followers it was a great time to buy his own stock. While there's no concrete evidence of coordination, the timing is impossible to ignore. Critics are now asking who knew what and when.
Okay, there might not be any concrete proof just yet, but this is incredibly weird, and the timing is far too perfect for Pam Bondi to not have known something. But that seems to be the Trump administration's MO, just claim to be ignorant. For example, RFK Jr. RFK Jr. was recently blasted in Congress, so much so that he actually straight up said, "People shouldn't be taking medical advice from me."
But I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me. That it will seem like I'm giving advice to other people, and I don't want to be doing that. I want people to make.
But that's kind of your jurisdiction because CDC does give advice, right?
Again, I don't want to give advice.
Kennedy has been largely relatively low profile in the first couple months. That's now changing. We're going to have to see how this goes. I mean, this obviously was an absurd performance yesterday.
That's terrible.
As the congressman pointed out, as Kennedy said, well, I don't want to give advice. That's exactly your job.
Yeah,
you are the Health and Human Services Secretary of the CDC. You give advice. You give health recommendations.
They're exactly right. I mean, that's his job. RFK Jr., his job is to give medical advice. But if Trump isn't gearing up to deal with the fallout from RFK Jr., he's gearing up to deal with the fallout from other Republicans.
Can you see yourself voting for this big, beautiful bill at all?
Not in the current structure, no. Again, I refuse to vote for something that's going to actually increase the deficits, exacerbate the problem from the current situation.
This is obviously great. I love to see this. I'm also really happy to learn that not every single Republican is spineless. But speaking of spineless, Trump is the biggest weakling of them all. That's right, the moment you've been waiting for, as Trump is taking emergency action because Germany dropped a brutal bombshell on his son.
A German media bombshell has just rocked the Trump family. And now, Donald Trump is taking emergency action to contain the fallout. This all started with Axel Springer, one of Europe's largest and most influential media companies, headquartered in Germany. Through its U.S. outlet, Business Insider, the company dropped a criminally explosive exposé on Donald Trump Jr., and what it uncovered could have serious legal and ethical implications. According to the report, Trump Jr. made a move just 6 days after his father's re-election that barely made a ripple at the time. He quietly joined a tiny, obscure Florida-based investment firm called 1789 Capital, located just 2 miles from Mar-a-Lago. On paper, it looked like a simple venture capital gig. But behind the scenes, the money started flowing, and fast. The firm, which pitches itself as aligned with Trump values, suddenly gained access to highly exclusive insider investment deals. We're talking stakes in Elon Musk's SpaceX and xAI, two of the hottest, most closely guarded private ventures in the world. These are the kinds of deals normally reserved for elite players with deep ties to powerful insiders. But the real scandal? These weren't just lucky breaks. Since Don Jr. joined, 1789 Capital has been raking in profits from defense contractors that are simultaneously receiving billions in taxpayer-funded federal contracts from the same Trump administration his father oversees. One of those companies just secured a $22 billion deal for military tech. Another got a federal contract weeks after 1789 poured millions into it. At the same time, Trump Jr. and his partners began setting up a private invite-only club in Washington, D.C. called the Executive Branch, a luxury club where members pay over $500,000 to rub shoulders with administration insiders and top business moguls. It's a blatant attempt to sell access to power and profit from it. Critics are calling it Hunter Biden 2.0, a blatant case of cashing in on a powerful last name. But, unlike Hunter, Don Jr. is directly connected to the federal contracts that are enriching his firm. Legal experts are calling it one of the most egregious conflicts of interest in modern American politics. A top watchdog put it bluntly, it's a way for Mar-a-Lago to get paid. But what's even more shocking than the wrongdoing is how Trump is responding. Instead of denying the facts, the Trump White House is taking emergency action, lashing out at the German media giant. According to CNN and other reports, Trump aides are accusing Axel Springer of illegal foreign political meddling and hinting at using federal power to retaliate against the publisher for simply exposing the truth. One anonymous White House official even issued a thinly veiled threat, warning that publishing stories like this could invite legal consequences and federal scrutiny. The message wasn't just directed at Business Insider, it was aimed at every newsroom under Axel Springer's banner, and any journalist thinking about digging into Trump family finances. To be clear, the Trump administration is not denying the report. They're not even disputing the facts. They're going after the messenger, calling unflattering reporting a foreign threat. So, to sum it up, a German publication exposed a corrupt financial pipeline linking Donald Trump Jr. to federal contracts, military deals, and private insider trading. And now, Trump is melting down, resorting to emergency damage control and threatening the foreign media outlet that dared to break the story. This is no longer just about ethics. This is about retaliation, cover-ups, and a family using the U.S. presidency to quietly enrich themselves while silencing anyone who asks questions.
Oh my gosh, there is just so much blatant corruption. Every day there's a new scandal. Every day there's more evidence that the Trump administration is only interested in making their own pockets great again. The craziest thing is Trump isn't even denying any of the facts. He's just whining that his son got called out. All in all, the Trump family are some of the weakest, most spineless, pathetic, narcissistic losers around. More and more Americans are waking up to this fact every single day, and I think Trump knows it. Otherwise, why else would he be so desperate to censor negative press?